Sairam, everyone. We are studying the second chapter of Sathya Sai Vahini. Sorry, give me a minute. I'm having a technical challenge. 1 second. Okay. You can see this. Okay. So we are in the second chapter of Sathya Sai Vahini. Last week we were discussing about the Atman, what it is to feel that everything is one, that we see, lose the sense of differentiation and so on. And there was a lot of discussion on that. I think that's where we left off. Maybe we'll continue to continue from where we left off. Yes, I will read. Okay, read the slide which we read and discussed. Fullness means wholeness. Wholeness implies one and not two or three. There cannot then be any place for the individual. When an individualized Atma or Jivi, the particularized, differentiated self, has become full and whole, there is no possibility of his return to the consciousness of the objective world. Some doubts may arise in the minds of many, but this line of thought is not correct. When the individualized Jivi becomes fixed in the totality or samashti, the whole, he loses all ideas of distinction and is ever in the consciousness of the totality, the one that subsumes the many. He will then be aware that the reality of each is the reality of all, and that reality is the one indivisible Atma. He will not exhibit any consciousness of distinction between individuals. So this is what we had read and we have discussed. And so I will stop here, pause. If anyone would like to discuss any of these points further, we can discuss, else we will move on. I guess there are no questions or anything.
Sairam.
Yes, sister.
So this is what we were discussing at the beginning, that once you realize the whole, there's no possibility of return to the conscious of objective world.
Yes.
That the person will not realize, right? Am I right? That particular person who realize that one is as a whole,
yes,
he won't go back that is something that person will not realize. Am I right? The individual will not say that I will not go back to the objective world, kind of, right? So
Okay.
some doubt may arise in the mind of many. That is people who are looking at them, right? Not that individual
Yes.
who are,
Yes.
yeah, okay, thanks.
Yes. Auntie Saku.
Yeah. Can you explain to me when an individualized Atma or Jiva, the particularized differentiated self, has become full and whole? What is the particularized differentiated self?
So let me go. Is my understanding is, Auntie, we all think we are an individual. We are separate. We are one small self. That is a particularization. That means we think we are different from other people. Okay. We feel that way only because we identify with the body. Because we identify with the body, we think we are separate. And that's what Swami is referring to, from my understanding.
So you have to come out of that.
Yes, that is the steps. When Swami, when even in spirituality or in Sanatana Dharma, the word Jivatma or Jivi is used. That means one who thinks
With
that
the
limited,
body conscious.
exactly, the limitation that I am different from everyone else, I'm different from Atman and all that. That is what is particularized, differentiated self.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. In other words, it just uses Vyakti. Means you think you are an individual limited by your body, your mind, and you are different from everyone else. And once that identification goes and we identify that we
Can
are
become
Atman,
full.
we Atman, we will know that others also Atman.
Yeah.
There is that, in that sense, we are all one. And that's what Swami is referring to. Once you come to that state, that person will never lose that state. You know, that, see, sometimes mentally you will think, oh, we are all one, Swami is in everyone, all that. But once a person understands and recognizes that, that understanding will never be lost. So that person will never again identify the body. That's my understanding.
Brother, this is what I was asking the other day also. That individual will not realize that. Am I right? When he goes into the whole, he won't. Is that what sentence is correct? That there's no possibility of his return to the conscious of the objective world. He once it comes to that point, that is not himself is going back. It's he has come like that, and he never.
Yes,
Because
sister.
the individualization is gone for him to think back to go back. Am I right? That's the way you have to.
See, I think in the Telugu, there are 3-4 sentences, and then Swami says, all these are a bit, thus people will say this, and then they will feel some doubt. Swami says, Paripurnatva managa akanda tattva kada, అఖండ తత్వము ఒక్కటే కాని 2-3 ఉండవు కదా, వ్యక్తిత్వము కూడా ఉండజాలదు కదా, ఒక జీవాత్మ పరిపూర్ణత్వమును అఖండమును అయినప్పుడు దీనిని తిరిగి ప్రపంచమునకు తెలుప వీలుండదు కదా అని శంకించవచ్చు. So generally people doubt that, oh, if somebody becomes one, that person will not return. That kind of doubt is in everyone's head. That's what Swami says. So my understanding is, I will ask Auntie to clarify that. See, these are the doubts which people have. If you realize yourself, you will never come back to the objective world, because you are complete. These are doubt. Anis means thinking like that, people have doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Auntie, my what I said is right.
ఇది సరి అయిన అభిప్రాయము కాదు. ఇట్ ఇస్
Ah.
నాట్ Correct.
It's a other person's opinion, not that particular person's opinion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
The person who realized the whole
Hmm.
never look at the individualized thing, right? So
He will not come back to
yeah, the other person only will think, not the person who will realize it. He
No,
forgot about the individualization, right?
Sister,
Oh,
for the person who has realized that he is the Atman or she is the Atman, of course, he doesn't differentiate whether he or she. But the thing is, for that person, the question you have is, will that person see something else as different from that person? That's the question. See, that person has total knowledge.
Yes. Will
That
not.
person's knowledge is bodies are different, that person knows.
Yes.
Okay. So on the objective world, people only look at the body.
Yes.
Okay. That person knows people with the consciousness of the body will think they are different and don't realize that they are Atman. Because of that, they are all one. Okay. So the Jnani actually knows what is differentiation also. He knows the differentiation is in the physical mental sphere only. Okay. It is not that they are ignorant about it.
Yeah.
See, for example, Swami makes a statement, Prema Svarupalara. Okay. He sees us all as Prema Svarupa or Divyatma Svarupalara. Okay. Divya embodiments of divine Atma. See, these are statements he makes. But then the question you can ask, so Swami is in that state.
Yes.
However, does he see us as a different individual? Yes, he sees a person who is embodied in a body and thinks that that person is different, separate. He is aware of that. Okay.
Arun,
Yes,
what
sir.
Arun is saying is, he knows that he is one with the samashti. He is one with the totality.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Others who are around him, who are present, they may think that he is different. They may think that he is different. That's what I think she.
Yeah. But yes.
Yeah.
Others only will have that opinion. But the particular person who will realize the
He doesn't.
whole
He
will not
is
have
one.
any differentiation, kind of only I'm thinking.
See, he will know the objective world as
yeah.
it is.
He
Okay.
will.
He will know the objective world. It's not that he has forgotten the objective
No,
world.
he knows. He knows.
He knows the objective world, sister. But the thing is, only thing which he doesn't understand is the common man who has not understood will not understand that state.
Yeah.
Okay. The common man will say, oh, if he become jnani, then he will not see anyone different. Of course, he will see the person and say, you are doing this, or you are telling this. They are hearing somebody saying. It's not that suddenly they have stopped seeing the world as a see, they will know multiplicity exists, they know. The diversity exists, they will know.
In the body level, they know. But
They
at
know.
the level, they will think is one.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they know the multiplicity, but there is unity in that multiplicity that they know. That is the difference between a jnani and the ordinary people. Ordinary people only see diversity and diversity alone. Whereas jnani will see unity in that diversity.
Okay.
But this individualized, particularized self, so he has become now one with the whole. He is now not attached to the body. It's not body conscious, but he is now with the Paramatma. He has realized that he is one with the whole, samashti. And he doesn't have to come and tell people that, oh, I have merged with that superior, that supreme personal reality. And he doesn't have to come and tell. And he will not, there is no possibility of his return to the conscious of objective world. He is very much there in the objective world. He's very much there. But he knows that he doesn't belong to this world. The others may think, oh, he has realized and he might not be like us, like that, they may think. But he knows very well that I am one with that Paramatman.
Okay, it's Auntie Sakku, you want to say something?
Thank you.
Auntie Sakku, you had to unmute.
Yeah, yeah. This is the stage we call it realization.
Yes, this is Jivan Mukta state. Means to be liberated from the identification as a Jiva.
Right.
Jiva means one who identifies with the differentiated self. See, there are two things. One is identification with the body. The second one is identification with the limited self also.
Yeah.
So that is Jivatma. So from that also you are liberated. So it's called
Yeah,
Jiva.
from Jivi, they become Atma, connected with Paramatma.
Yes.
That is totality, and that is called Jiva Mukta state.
Yeah, Jivan Mukta state.
But not realization.
The English people say they realize their self.
Realize yourself.
Yes, so
Realize who you are.
yes.
This confusion when we say Jivatma, there we are little confusion is created because it's Atma is also added to the word Jiva.
Oh, Jivi. We have to say Jivi.
That's why you get that.
Jivi. Then once you realize that your body is not permanent, your soul is permanent, and that is oneness with Paramatma, that is Atma. Then it becomes Atma. It can be called Atma, and it is called Jiva Mukta state. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, both of you, for clarification.
Yeah, Swami gives this quotes this Hanuman statement. Dehatma buddhya means when I think my body is the deha, Atma is identified with the deha, then I think I am a servant. The Jivatma buddhya means when I think I am the Jiva, I am an amsa of you, I am a part of you, I am a spark of you. Then when I am looking at the Atma bhava, then I am Aivatvam. I am you and you are I.
Oh, so 3 stages.
Yeah.
Can you repeat it, please?
Dehatma means when you identify the Atma to be the Deha, body.
Oh, yeah.
Then Atma is self, oneself. When you see that, then you are, Hanuman says, he is a servant of the Lord.
Dehatma means servant.
This is Hanuman's experience. When he identifies with the body, he becomes a servant of Rama. When he identifies himself as a Jiva, he thinks he's an Amsha, a spark of Rama.
Okay.
Then when he only looks at the Atma Bhava, then he says, I am you, you are I. Both are one.
You.
Okay,
Thank
this
you.
is 3 stages. Okay, so I thought of. So here you're even crossing the Jivatma Bhava. Okay, so yes, Sai Satish, please go.
Sorry, Amanda. So I was just going to say that it is when he says, when Hanuman says Deha Buddhyastu Dasoham, so it is through the cognizance of the Buddhi which identifies itself as the body. Then he says, I am the servant of Lord Rama. And then Jiva Buddhyastu Tavevaham, that is, I am a part of you. And Atma Buddhya Twamevaham. So it is through the cognizance of the buddhi which is identifying, right, Anna? Like in terms of the intellect.
But the last one, there is no buddhi also.
Yeah, exactly. So that state, how would it be? In terms of the quote, it goes as Atma Buddhya. So how would
I understand.
Yeah,
but buddhi itself is, see, the thing is, I think why it may be used is because the buddhi is turned towards the Atma. Buddhi is turned toward the body, buddhi is turned towards the jiva, buddhi is turned toward, because buddhi is nothing but the reflection of that. That's the closest thing, I think, to the Atman.
Okay, Anna. Yeah, thank you. I think at that stage, it's at the stage where literally the reflection or the mirror itself also vanishes, right? It becomes just, it is trying to say that it is actually one and dissolves in it, something of that kind.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think in all the 3 stages, buddhi is used. Intellect is very necessary for the identification with the body or with the jiva or with the Atman. Buddhi
Okay.
is there, must be necessary, necessity. I feel.
Yeah, I think in the sense here the Buddha is also to know.
No, that's all.
The
No.
Bodha means to know also. That way also we can say. One is Buddhi as an instrument. This Buddha as
just knowledge, awareness, awareness.
Awareness. Constant integrated awareness.
Yeah.
Prajnanam, as Swami would say. So as from that you can see, Hanuman was able to function in all three.
Yeah.
When Rama is asking, how do you worship me? He's saying this. So that means he knew that he was functioning at the body level, at the jiva level, and at
the atmic level.
So that is real jnani like Hanuman. Okay, so I hope.
Thank you.
Sai Ram.
Brother, that three is called, what is called is a three stage.
Three stages. Swami will say, the light is in me, I am in the light.
Yeah, what is called, brother, how we can call it at these stages? Body level, GB level, and Atma level.
I think you can call it sthiti, sister, stage. Or
Stage.
I don't know, state. State also you can say.
States, okay.
States you can say.
Thanks.
Okay. In English, it's very difficult to find avastha, whatever, so okay. If everyone is okay, maybe we can move on to the next slide. I don't know, Kalyani is here, Narmada is here. I don't know whether they will read or.
Saraman, I'm joining from the car, sorry.
Okay.
I can read, Uncle.
Okay. Kalyani, you can read.
The divine that he knows as the core of each thing and being is now recognized by him as the divine that he himself is. And so he will be deeper than ever in the fullness of Ananda. How can he then experience separateness? No, he cannot. The rays of that Ananda illumine all regions. The sages and the great rishis, one leading a life without desires, became aware of the bliss. They communicated that experience to the world in easily understandable language. The unreachable moon is made known by pointing a finger in the direction where it can be seen. So too, they brought within the purview of men, according to the state of consciousness which each of them had attained, the truth that lies beyond the reach of mind and speech. Their teachings were not only simple, but varied to educate and elevate all levels of understanding.
Thank you very much, Kalyani.
Okay.
Auntie, we can read the Telugu thing.
Sairam. ఒక్కొక్క వస్తువునందలి దివ్యత్వము
the divinity which is present in each and every object
తనలోని ఆత్మతత్వమునే తెలుసుకొని మరింత ఆనందించునే కాని భేదమును వెలిబుచ్చడు.
He will be overjoyed or blissed out thinking that it is the same Atman which is within oneself, knowing that the person will be in state of bliss.
Yes.
He will not show any differentiation.
వెలిబుచ్చుడు means expresses
any differences.
ఈ ఆనందము యొక్క కిరణములే సర్వత్రా వ్యాపించి
the rays of that bliss will spread everywhere.
ఆ అనుభూతిని అందుకొందురు.
They receive that experience.
మహారుషులు వారు అనుభవించిన దివ్య అనుభూతులను
the great rishis, they experience the divinity which they have experienced.
లోకానికి అర్థముకు భావాలలో తెలిపిరి.
They taught or expressed in ways or manner in which the world can understand.
అందని చందమామను వ్రేలితో చూపినట్లు
just the way andani, what's the meaning, auntie?
Andani cannot be reached.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Unreachable.
The unreachable Chandra, how it is shown, pointed out with a finger.
Yeah. Maharushulu Manovakkulaku Atitamaina Paripurnatwamanu.
The great rishis, that supreme completeness, fullness, which cannot be, which is beyond the reach of the mind and the speech.
Manava Matulaku Tamatama Sthaiki Andubatulo.
For the human beings, according to their stages of understanding.
Andubatulo Nundu Ritiga Prabodhinchiri.
So that they will be able to understand to that, in that manner they taught them.
Andubatulo means reaching, andedi.
Accessible, in an accessible manner.
Okay.
They expressed it.
Chinna udaharanam.
No, I think they didn't, we didn't go there until yet.
It is not brought with the pressure of men, and that's all. Oh, okay.
So far, so I think Swami is telling that the rishis are pointing to that, so that all of us can access it in a manner. So they're pointing so that we all can see it, because they know that it's beyond verbal description or cannot be reached by the mind. So they can only point to that experience which they have experienced. That's what Swami said. I will stop here if anyone would like to discuss anything, any point. So maybe we'll go to the example. I will move Kalyan.
Yeah,
because that will make it.
A small example. Let her read. Kalyani, can you read?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
A small example. One feels happy when one has the knowledge that this one little body is his, does he not? Then, when he knows that two bodies are his, should he not be twice happy? In the same way, with the knowledge that he has an increasing number of bodies, the experience of happiness goes on increasing. When the whole world is known to be one body and world consciousness becomes part of the awareness, then the Ananda will be full. To get this multi-consciousness, the limited egocentric prison walls must be destroyed. When the ego self-identifies itself with the jiva, with the jivi or atma, death will cease. When the ego self-identifies itself and merges with the bliss of the one, sorrow will cease. When it merges with jnana or the higher wisdom, error will cease. Material individualness is born out of delusion. This body, which creates that impression, is only an ever-evolving atom of a boundless ocean. The second entity in me is the other form, namely the embodied self. When the ego of mine merges with the self in me, then the delusion disappears through the upsurge of its opposite knowledge. When man's thought matures in the process of time, undoubtedly, all schools of thought have to reach this conclusion.
Oh, it's quite a big paragraph.
I know.
It's a big paragraph. Okay. We can divide this small.
Yes, but we'll read once, Auntie,
Yeah.
Telugu, and then why don't we discuss
now,
it?
I have read up to that udaharanam.
Chinna udaharanam. A small example. I don't know whether it's a small example, but I'm calling it small.
ఈ చిన్న శరీరము తనదను జ్ఞానము కన్నా
this small body, the knowledge which it thinks it has,
no, the knowledge that it is
tanadanu, that it is its own mindness.
సుఖప్రదమైన రెండు శరీరములు
The joy of giving two bodies are
తనవను జ్ఞానము ఇంకనూ ఎక్కువ సుఖకరమై ఉండును కదా.
when he thinks that it is its own, then the sukha, the happiness will be double or more. Won't it be?
ఈ విధముగా తన శరీరములు సంఖ్య అగు కొలది.
In the same way, if the number of bodies, the count of the bodies increase as one's own,
సుఖానుభూతి కూడాను అధికమగుచూ పోయి,
so the experience of bliss or joy also will keep on increasing.
అది విశ్వ ప్రజ్ఞాన రూపమై పొందినప్పుడు,
when one attains the knowledge that the entire universe is one,
పరిపూర్ణ ఆనందం సిద్ధించును.
they will have bliss which is complete, full.
సిద్ధినందును సారీ
It will grant that fullness of bliss.
ఇట్టి అనంత వ్యక్తిత్వము,
this infinite self,
లభించవలనన్న,
if one has to attain it,
ఈ క్షుద్ర కారాగారముచే పరిమితమై ఉండు వ్యక్తిత్వము
this small or this prison of self, which is parimitamai undu means
limiting, it's
limited, this prison of which limits one.
It has to come out of this ksudra karagaram.
Parimitamai undu.
He has to get out of
parimitamai undu. This vyaktitvamu, which is this individual self, which is imprisoned in this, imprisoned and limited in this small way.
It has vyaktitva antarinchavalenu.
It has to be given up, or it has to die.
The individualized this thing should die.
Yes.
Nenu anu ahambhavamu,
I, the ego, which is I,
జీవునితో ఐక్యమైనప్పుడే,
when it merges with the జీవి,
మరణము నిలిచిపోవును,
the death will cease.
సుఖమును ఐక్యమైనప్పుడే,
when it merges in the joy,
దుఃఖము నిలిచిపోవును,
the sorrow will cease.
జ్ఞానముతో పొందినప్పుడు,
when it merges in the jnana or knowledge, wisdom,
పొరపాట్లు నిలిచిపోవును,
all mistakes or errors will cease.
భౌతిక వ్యక్తిత్వమును,
the human, it's a worldly, the bhautika means worldly individuality,
కేవల భ్రాంతి జనిత భావం,
that is mainly due to delusion.
నిరవకాశ వ్యాప్తి గల భౌతిక సముద్రమనందు,
in the ocean of the world, which spreads everywhere, which is unceasing or something like that. Niravakasha means there is no gap, no, auntie?
I mean space, unlimited space.
Unlimited, niravakasha. Niravakasha means, okay, unlimited
space.
Bhautika samudram, in this ocean of, this boundless ocean of this world.
ఈ నీ శరీరము ఒక నిరంతర పరిణామ వశమై ఉండు,
in this body which is internally continuously changing,
అణుమాత్రమైన వస్తువునియు,
which is an atom,
నీ రెండవ వస్తువైన ప్రతిరూప జీవాత్మతో,
the second object of jivatma, which is pratirupa means, auntie, it's reflection. Reflection.
ప్రతిరూప జీవాత్మతో దీనికి ఐక్యము కలుగుటే,
when it merges in that jivatma,
ప్రతిపాదించుటే భౌతిక శాస్త్ర సమ్మతమని
I think you will have to translate, auntie.
When the ego mind merges with the self in me, then the delusion disappears through the upsurge of its opposite knowledge. It's not. Ni rendava vastuvaina pratirupa jivatmato.
This, the pratirupa, the reflection, which is the jivatma, when it merges in that,
Pratipadinchute bhautika shastra sammatamani.
Bhautika Shastra means the worldly science accepts this state.
Dini niguda bhavamu. Niguda bhavamu. This
Means opposition, auntie?
Nigudam ante idi kada, secret kada, your secret.
Secret, yeah.
Niguda bhavamu.
So Niguda means beyond the secret?
Alla. Sammatamani dini niguda. Intrinsic secret. Niguda bhavamu.
See, Niguda means hidden or secret.
Secret. Hidden bhavamu.
The secret.
So, what does what does that sentence say? Neevu oka nirantara parinama vashamai untu anumatram. You are only a small atom.
Yes.
You're only a small atom in this whole ocean of existence.
The world.
Right. Then ni rendava vastuvaina pratirupa jivatma. That is your
so the first one is body, the second one is your jivatma.
Jivatma.
Yes.
Deeniki aikyam kalugutedi. You unite with that.
Uniting with that. Is the second secret, more than secret, I would say, which is hidden bhava.
So what is this Bhautika Shastra proving? Worldly science. The science proves.
See, Prapadinchute, Bhautika Shastra Sammatamani. Considering that as worldly knowledge, isn't it? Worldly science.
The second entity in me is the other form.
Yes.
Namely the embodied self.
Pratipadinchute, Bhautika Shastra Sammatamani, Dini, Niguda Bhavamu.
Body is the first form.
The second entity in me is the other form, namely the embodied self.
Self, that's embodied self.
Yeah, so I think that's, but I think he is not, Bhautika Shastra Sammatamani, that has not been translated, auntie.
Pratipadinchidante, to prove it.
Yes.
To prove that, what is this worldly science is saying?
Only when you prove it, the world science will accept it or something like that. That's the hidden knowledge. I don't understand.
That line is very.
The line itself is Niguda.
Niguda. Secret. Hidden secret.
Yeah. We'll read the next one and come back, auntie.
Kala paripakamuna.
In time, in the process of as time marches on,
time marches on.
Yes.
They come to this conclusion.
So as the time progresses, all the Shastras will come to prove this.
That is, they all come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, they will have to come to this state is the reality. Then Pandlanu Patti, I think we have not read that. No,
no, we have not. This has got lots to.
So I think we will slowly. Swami is. I think we'll start with the first section.
Okay.
But the Swami is telling. What is small example? I think we'll go line by line.
Line by line, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, line by line, brother.
So I think Swami is first starting about, we are happy that we have a body and we have So there is some joy we get thinking that this body is ours, we are ourselves. One, but Swami says as soon as we start adding one and more bodies of this world as belonging to us, Swami says the joy should also increase that manifold. And
here what I think is, I am this body, I am this embodied self. This body has got that self. And the self, another self is also the same like me. So that is the addition.
yes.
Isn't that? That's
Yes.
what you should think.
Yes, Brother Thasan.
Yes, I am, brother. So
Yes.
based on this explanation,
Mhm.
we are once the person is fullness, he realizes himself, I am the Atma. When I look at you, now maybe when I'm looking at the, if you are not fullness, then I'm going to differentiate you. Okay, you are more educated, you have this much money, you have this kind of things. Now I am fullness. I don't see any difference from anybody, even animal or anybody. So you will see the oneness. So when I look at other person, now I'm that person also me, myself. So the whole world is, when I look at all ones, if we look at this Prakriti, we say that Paramatma's body. So I am part of that one. So when I, if I'm looking at the duality, now I'm in oneness. Now there's no duality. So it's one. Advaitam. Before it was Dvaitam, now I am in the Advaitam state. There's no difference, so I am big. Thank you, brother.
Sairam, brother. Thank
The first sentence, Arun,
you.
one feels happy, one has the knowledge that this little body is his. That knowledge is not about the body. It's about the divinity which is inside. And the same divinity which is present in others also is another body. So I am adding to that body. I feel this is the essence of those two sentences. Sairam.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes,
Auntie.
Auntie. Yes, I also think this same line. One has the knowledge that this body is his, the Lord. So that happiness comes. Then when you realize every body is
His own.
then there's a lot more happiness. That whole world, one body, once you realize that, then that will give you a full ananda. That's how I am understanding.
Yeah.
First the knowledge, then you will be happy. Then if you come to know everyone is part of that, then the full consciousness, you come to know everything is as one and you don't see the difference, then the full ananda comes.
When the second sentence is, then when he knows that two bodies are his, how can two bodies one person? It's not the body. It is the divinity which is present in him and in others also are same. That's how he claims. Should he not be twice happy?
Okay, I think we have a few people who seem to be having answers or questions. We'll see. Auntie Saku.
I have a question.
Okay.
Two bodies. Two bodies. Does it refer to Atma and the body, physical body?
Swami has used the word Sharira. That means body. Okay.
Then what is these two bodies?
So we will, I don't know, we will find out what others have to say. And
Okay.
okay, Sister Anandi.
Sairam brothers, I have the same question with the first of all, the small example, maybe the caption in the beginning, it's a little bit of confusion in there. This is not an example, but it's kind of philosophy or theory kind of.
Yeah.
That is one thing. And the other one, also, personally, I used to think that even with one little body, we are having so much problem. If God has given two or more bodies, we wouldn't be happy at all. Even if it is at the body level. Maybe in the meaning, I understand that it could be the multiple atmas, or that the divinity in the bodies would be taken as inner meaning. But even in this statement, I thought maybe Swami's inner meaning could be different. But Swami also knew that even with one little body, we are having so much problem, so much worries. And if we have multiple bodies, how can we could be happy with those bodies? That's what I thought, maybe some sort of inner meaning. And they already discussed it could be multiple, the atmas, or the divinity in the other atma. If we go to that level, all bodies, or the whole whole elements in the nature, it could be even previously Brother Dasan said, not only the human beings, even the other beings also, it would be seen as the one thing, and that the oneness concept comes in. But I thought this is little bit confusing, this statement here. That's all I am trying to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sister. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Hi, Ramana. So, suppose, like, if I've come from India now to Canada, and I go to Walmart, I suppose I don't know anybody in Canada, and I go to Walmart, for example, and I'm shopping there, and I hear somebody speaking in Tamil there. Instantly, my feeling is that I may not know that person, but suddenly there's a feeling of like they belong to me, or a language known to me. That kind of belonging, or that kind of, to a level of identification as being one with them, or part of an extended family, comes to me. Like when I'm just hearing, as I go and I hear them speak in the same language as mine, automatically I feel like they are kind of mine. And so if we are able to extend, so when I feel as a stranger in a land and somebody speaks the same language as mine, automatically I feel that even if those people who unknown to me are part of my family, if that same feeling can be extended across to feel like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world as one family, that is at a level of the individual. So as if I identify myself only as one individual, how that joy now gets multiplied when I identify with a small number of family members, to extending the whole world as family, then that kind of extension of that circle itself as the feeling of one family is the kind of thing that I am seeing, where the two bodies or multiple bodies comes into place, because that sense of belongingness is what creates that they belong to me. It is that kind of a family which tells in terms of how that joy increases. But this is an analogy at the level of the small I and at the level of body. The same feeling, if we can identify with the capital I, that it is the same Atman or divinity which is present within me, is the same that is present in every being, then in terms of, like, it is me only who is, like Lord Krishna, when he says Mamayavamso Jivabhutas, Jiva Loke Jivabhutas Sanatanaha, it is the same thing, that seed who is present in everyone is me. Like you see in everyone, you see the one or the capital I. That is the kind of joy that it comes. So it is more like how we can relate to it at the level of a body, where we feel an extended family kinship kind of a thing which multiplies. Oh, they are also my family only. Like sometimes we find that even as we go for some gathering, we find that somebody related to somebody is actually our relation kind of a thing. So how that kind of a thing comes, it's that kind of a feeling at a physical level of the body can be considered for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world as one family, and at the same time identification with the capital I, it's that same divine that is present in all, which again expresses that that bliss of oneness. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Brother Prasad.
Yes, Sairam. I'm not able to open the video. Yeah, basically, I'm going the same thing, like what Brother Sathya was saying. In this, Swami was using this example as an analogy to explain further what we discussed in the previous lines, right? I think here he's trying to explain in a property point of view. Like, let's say you consider this body is mine, where I'm keeping my Atma. If you take it that way, you have some sort of satisfaction as I have my own property. I don't need to beg anyone to keep this Atma. But then when you know the other person's body is also yours because they're both the same Atma, then you'll feel more satisfaction. Like now you have two houses. Now if you know whole colony is mine, joy will increase. Now the whole city. Now what he was saying is, think it that way, that it all belongs to you. Then your joy will be bigger and bigger. He's just trying to explain in a property manner in this case to describe what we talked the other side earlier. So maybe that's what I was thinking, because even in this case, it says when the whole world consciousness becomes part of the awareness, when you understand whole world is done, then the Ananda will be full. He used the word full. Until then, it's not full. Something missing. The only when you realize whole world is part of the same, then you will feel full. I mean, it's well we discussed in the previous lines. So that's I just want to share another angle.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Yes, the body is a property in which we live. So if same can be extended to a home, which is what you are saying. See, I know Sister Anandi is talking about problems. See, the thing is, I think the first thing we have to learn is to be happy with ourselves the way we are. Okay, so if our tendency is to be happy with ourselves, then that happiness will increase. If we are sad about ourselves, then the sadness also will multiply. So I think that's the number one. I think I agree with what has been stated. Because, for example, if we eat something and we are happy, when another body is also eating something and that is happy, if we think that happiness belongs to us also, then the joy will double. See, for example, family goes to a temple, Dashara time now, so somebody got prasadam, then they eat and they're happy. Then says, oh, my child also should get, my husband got, or my wife got. When they eat, then we are doubly happy because both of us have gotten prasad, or everyone has gotten. So the thing is, because why we get that? Because we think they are an extension of ourselves. Once we think everyone is an extension of ourselves, then we should be happy. See, for example, we go to a center. So everyone likes to sing bhajans, so they say, somebody else sings. If we think we are, that person singing is like me singing, then we should be happy with that many number of people singing. We should not think, oh, it's I have to sing, then only I'm happy. That is a limitation of oneself. So that's once you identify everyone's happiness as your own happiness, only then that happiness will multiply. I think we should cultivate the ability. If somebody is happy, we should be happy. If 3 people are happy, we should be three times happy, because everyone has been happy. And I think that's what Swami is referring to, because after all, happiness in this world is enjoyed through the body only at the sensory level. So I think, see, there's a nice talk by Swami about marriage. Swami says youngsters are very, very selfish. It's all about themselves. Okay, but that is why the marriage as an institution itself, family as an institution was instituted, so that they will know how to share. Then the next time they have to share with the spouse. Then children will grow, be born. Then that much they will share. And they will be sad if some of them is not happy, they will feel sad. Because that way, that ability to share happiness with others keeps on increasing. When the children will get married, then they will have their spouses, their relations, as Sai Satish was telling, we'll identify everyone as our own. The more we identify as our own, our happiness has a natural tendency to increase. I think that's what Swami is saying. So that way, this expansion is love, as Swami has said. I think.
Can
Yes,
I can I add something?
yes, Auntie, please.
See what Sai Satish said was in same language speaking, same region from where we are coming.
Yes.
That identification will give us, no doubt, lots of happiness because we feel one with them. That's
Yes.
physical level.
Yes.
Physical level. The food I eat, if others also eat and enjoy, then I am very happy. That's all at the physical level. But if we take her to a higher level,
Yes.
I said, this divinity which you feel, I mean, we have to rise up to that level to feel that divinity, that awareness, that my divinity and his divinity are same. Then, you feel happy. It's not the physical bodies as
I think, Auntie, that's why Swami is calling it an example.
Example, analogy.
So analogy is giving at the physical level, because physical level we understand.
We understand.
So he's giving it as an example.
We have to go a little higher level, I feel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Then Swami is taking us to Jiva, higher and higher.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sister Suji was raising her hand, but
no, I was just saying the only time I'm not happy is when I see Swami giving any interviews or Father Namaskar or any attention to anybody else. And I always feel jealous. But I wonder if I'm in this state, I might be able to overcome that. And I would be happy for that person.
You would be happy for yourself.
Yeah, it would feel like even though that person is getting it, I would experience that happiness.
The moment that you have realized that you are jealous, that itself is the first step. Remove that jealousy, everything will go. You will also feel happy if someone is getting Padram Skaram.
I don't know how many of you remember in Sandeha Nivarani, I think 3rd chapter, I think. Okay. The questioner comes and he's upset. And then Swami is asking, why are you upset? Then he says, no, you went, I think, Kerala recently, but you didn't take me. So I am upset, something like that. Then Swami said, why you should be upset? You find out what happened and then you be happy about it. So it's the same thing. So this is not something new, because Swami says in this world, we should be able to take everyone's experience as our own and be happy. So that is something which Swami taught in Sathya Sai, I think, which we read about 4.5 years or 5 years ago.
I think I would also say, I think in that example, what she was referring to, if somebody gets a Padre Namaskar, instead of feeling happiness for them or for us, if you can feel the joy, what the other person must be going through. Like, imagine yourself, oh yeah, it's just touch. I mean, experience the joy within yourself. Forget about whether you're joy experiencing for you or somebody, but the experience is what is important. Whether who the other person is, we don't. You may be there, you may not, other person. I mean, what I'm trying to say, if you try to grow thinking that I'm happy for him, that means I'm still separating ourselves. For him, happy for me, happy for that guy. So instead, if you can experience the joy of touching Swami's feet, then that's more happy, more happier, I guess.
But wouldn't that be an imagination on our part? Because what if we never touch the feet? How do we experience that joy?
That's, I think, in my opinion, I think the starting that is good enough for us. My imagination is good, but others,
We'll come. Okay, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Hi, Ramana. So just to what sister was saying, I was just going to say there was this boy. He was going to Mandir and he heard that Swami spoke to his brother. So he was very, very happy that Swami spoke to his brother. And actually, after reaching Mandir, he realized actually that Swami didn't speak to his brother, but he spoke to another student. But then on reflection, right? He initially felt very, very happy that Swami spoke because he felt that this person is my brother. And later on, he felt, oh, actually, it was somebody else. He felt that that person is not his brother, kind, right? So the problem came because he felt like whenever we feel me and mine, we feel like that happy. And when we say that it is not me and mine, it is somebody else, then we like, oh, yeah. So it is that feeling. If we can expand that me and mine to everybody and everybody, then I think that is where it becomes from two to many to everyone, and then it really brings that feeling of the universal family. That is one. And secondly, for the feeling, like Swami would always say that everything came by practice. So like eating practice, walking practice, writing practice, everything Swami would say came by practice. So he would say that when you are in presence of Swami, if you, like those days he would say, practice how you will give letter to Swami, practice how you will give kerchief to Swami. And then that, at that point in time, it was more like we would practice that so that you get a chance from Swami. But if we introspect deeply, sister, like how is it different now also, if we imagine the same and close our eyes and feel that we are in Swami's presence? Is it any difference from the physical thing to the one felt within? No doubt, in terms of the experience and all that, the physical may feel very real, because one is we are getting a chance with Swami, and other is we are getting a chance with Swami in presence of everybody. But but I think if we really essence it and do that as our sadhana, it gives the same joy that it would give even if it is in physical presence. So that is where, if we can live that, which Anna also was saying, like that person, where Swami has told that person to experience being in Kerala, we can take everybody's experience. When we listen to somebody's experience with Swami, we can put ourselves in place of that devotee and see as if we experienced it. And then that joy will automatically come when we listen to anybody's experience, and we won't feel like, oh, they got it, why didn't I get it? Because where is the difference between them and me? When the Lord gave it to, it is felt as if the body received it, but actually it came as a source for everybody to enjoy. It'll just change the perception of who got it. It's not like at the individual level I missed it, but rather Swami gave that so that I put myself, when I close my eyes and live that experience and feel that joy from within. Yeah, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sai Satish. Sister Aruna, give me a minute, because I just want to point out one sentence which we read. Swami says, to get this multi-consciousness, the limited egocentric prison walls must be destroyed. Okay, now, sister, you can go ahead.
Sairam, brother, just one thing only. When the people get seeing that Swami is giving blessing to somebody, like giving people and manifesting some chains or other object and giving out everything, the person is receiving one side. But we have to be happy we get to see that and hear it. So that is one thing, is a touching part. Seeing, hearing also, it has to give the pleasure to us. That's the way we have to look at it. One person is saying, Swami has said, somebody is touching my body, look at it. Who is nearer and dearer to Swami, right? That is, somebody that's within their mind, right? Not in a physical sense, you shouldn't be looking at it. You have to thank Swami, hearing that first. So Swami's did this kind of hearing itself, if it's giving you pleasure, that's how you have to develop we have to remove the egocentric way and see everything is happy in a way, seeing other people, whatever receiving also is gives you happiness. That's how you have to develop yourself. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you, sister. Thank you very much. Yes, Sister Shivani.
All this discussion make me think, Swami, what he has said, be a good Hindu, be, in whatever family religion you're born. And the definition we learned when you clarified what is the difference in religion and spirituality. So this discussion made me think that he's saying first become religious, identify who you are, and then move to spirituality where you see unity in diversity. And I'm just thinking we loosely use the word, oh, I'm a spiritual person, but am I a religious first? So understand who you are first, become a good Hindu, understand the depth, the understanding of all the Vedas, or experience that before you say I'm spiritual, before I see that unity in diversity. Just a thought what we learned about the religion and spirituality and the discussion here. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes, thank you. Yes, Brother Tasim.
So, Sairam, brother. So we are thinking about the happiness when we take Swami's podcast or Swami's blessing. But real happiness comes above the three gunas, that is common the bliss. That's what Swami came to this earth to give the transformation to us, how we can transform ourselves. Even if we go to Kailas, or if we go to Tirupati, or if we go to Puttaparthi, or if we go to Siradi, are we going to change? We have to learn Swami's teaching. Then we follow those kind of things. We have to believe that we are the Atma. Then we will get the Ananda above the three gunas. That is a real happiness. That is a bliss. Thank you, Brother Saira.
Sairam, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Kalyani, please go ahead.
I had heard once about a story. If somebody else knows it and can narrate it better, that would be great. But it's something along the lines of Swami was there with a group of boys, and there was one boy who was, had the chance to hold Swami's hand and assist Swami when he was walking or getting up or something.
Yes.
And then the other boys were looking on, and Swami was kind of, in a joking way saying, "Oh, isn't he lucky? He gets to hold my hand." And then he said, "Oh, holding my hand is not so important, but craving to hold my hand is more, that's what's important." So sometimes I think, oh, maybe, I didn't get certain chances to have that kind of physical proximity with Swami for a good reason. Like maybe I wasn't ready. I wouldn't have made good use of that opportunity, or maybe it would have been damaging for me. Like if I had some more attention from Swami, I would think I'm the greatest devotee, and I wouldn't have, I would have been maybe dissatisfied with what I was doing and not working harder.
Thank you very much, Kalyani. I think Swami, whatever is granted for our own benefit, for our own growth, and thank you very much, Kalyani. So, Saira.
Arun, this thing is on. I think it's not muted. Rasya. Yeah. Oh, now it's.
Okay.
He was asking, I think it wasn't. Anyway, now that sentence which you read just now,
Yes.
to get this multi-consciousness, that limited egocentric prison walls must be destroyed. That's what he is saying. And the next sentence, when the ego self identifies itself with the Jivi or Atma, death will cease. Here in Telugu, I was a little confused. I think if somebody wants to ask any question, please ask. I will go to the next sentence afterwards.
Auntie, why don't you read that and then we can...
Yeah. I would just read it in Telugu, Swami, what he has written. Sharirumula sankhya adhikamamu koladi sukhanubhuti kuda adhikamavu. That we just now did. Vishwa pragnana rupam undinappudu paripurna anandam siddhinchunu.
That's universal consciousness, that's complete.
Itti ananta vyaktitvamu. This is multiple consciousness.
Infinite individual.
Labinchavalinanna ఈ కారాగారముచే పరిమితమై ఉండు వ్యక్తిత్వను అంతరించవలను. You have to cut that వ్యక్తిత్వ, individualized వ్యక్తిత్వ. And the next sentence in Telugu, నేను అను అహంభావము, Swami uses the word అహంభావము, జీవునితో ఐక్యమనందినప్పుడే మరణము నిలిచిపోవును. That sentence was little ahambhava. Here it is used.
Bhava, the feeling of I-ness.
I-ness Or
Yes.
ego? Ego is better.
No, I think it's nenu anu aham bhavamu. Is it? I think the question is it is it pride and egoism or ego? I think that's the question.
Yeah.
Ego and egoism, there is slight difference, I think.
Difference. Yeah, there is difference. Yes.
Yeah.
Egoism, I guess, here.
But, okay.
So Swami is saying nenu anu aham bhavamu.
Yeah.
This nenu itself is aham bhava.
Yeah, that's correct.
I. When it merges with GV.
GV.
When it GV, Swami says, then only death will cease. Last time we discussed, I think last week we discussed, death means identification with the body, because body is the only thing which dies.
Which dies. Yeah, that's
So,
we did.
as soon as we stop identifying with the body, stop identifying with I, with the body, then death will cease, Swami says. Death is gone because you are identifying with the GV. GV still separates self
from the body. Separate
but it is not identifying with the body.
Yeah.
So Swami says at that point in time, your death will cease. That means from that point onwards, you are not going to die.
Die. So that means here, this body is different, is GV is different. Swami is saying.
Exactly. Yes.
Body is different, GV is different. When you are identifying with the body, your death is sure. So you have to leave out that aham bhava.
Aham with the identification with the body.
Body. That you have to.
When the aham bhava means I with aikya with deha.
Deha.
Then death. When the aham bhava is aikya with GV, then death ceases.
Death ceases.
Okay, brother, death ceases means
no more death.
No more death. That means
you have died. You have died.
Body died.
Body died.
Yes.
Right? No, ego. No, body only dying, right?
Yeah, only body dies.
Body died. Ego.
Body will not die. Identification with the body has died.
Body died.
Identification of the body is died.
Body will die.
Identification of body died.
Identification with the body.
With the body? No, brother. Ego self-identifies itself with GV. Ego identifying, right?
See, ego means, all of us point, sister, all of us say I.
Yes.
Okay. The problem is there's nothing wrong with saying I. If you when you say I and you think of the body as the I, then you are identifying with the body. See, if I say I and I say I am Aruno, I am, then this body, the name given to the body, then it's a problem. Then that person will die one day. Okay. This I is aham bhava. When the aham bhava is merged with the body, then there is death. Then the aham bhava is merged with GV. There is no more death.
No death, right?
No more death.
No.
Okay. I will go to Asako Auntie. They have some questions. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Yes, Auntie, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is the state. There are three entities Baba is talking. Here, 3 steps. This
body.
When you identify with your GV, then your death ceases.
Yes.
But if you are not aware about your GV and you identify yourself with body, then you feel the death.
You're going to die, yes.
Impact, yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Saida. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
I just saying that Swami in one of the discourses had mentioned, like when you ask anybody, who are you, they'll say, I am Ramaya, I am Krishnaya. So it starts with I am, and then the name of that individual, so and so. So long as
okay,
so long Yeah, there was some reward coming in. So
Yes,
so
yes.
long as the ideal answer is I am I, in the sense that that person is established in the GV, which is the small I becomes totally subsumed or one with the capital I, in which case there is no duality. It is only the universal individuality that exists, and then in that case death ceases, or even all of the subsequent lines what Swami says, all of the things cease, because the state of something that is impermanent is lost completely. In becoming one, the two becoming one makes the thing that is impermanent become permanent. So when only the one exists, death ceases, sorrow ceases, or all of the other the separation which creates all of the things that we see in the world ceases. So it is just, and for that person, even if one, of course, if they have realized that state while they are in the body, even if the body dies and comes back again for whatever reason, it may come and go, but they are established in the capital I. So hardly the small I wearing a dress and coming and going back, dropping the dress matters. Swami would always say death is the dress of life. So it is just about wearing a dress and dropping the dress. And that person is always established in being the capital I. And so the small I is more for the worldly existence that people see the small I, but always the person being in that state operates from the capital I. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Brother Prasad, please go ahead.
No, Sairam. No, I think it's the same thing what you both cover. I think what I would like to, Swami in this thing, he's symbolically saying, I mean, if you consider yourself as I as a body, obviously body will have an end, and it will suffer so many things. So you may find pain, all those things. But if you consider I as Atma, you don't care what happens to the body. I mean, it may go one day, it may not go one day. You don't care, because the other I will survive. But there is no death for that Atma.
Yes.
But because I think he symbolically is explaining, it's not just I'll be immortal. He's not getting into that concept. I mean,
Yes.
when you realize you are nothing
You're
but
already
Shiva,
immortal. The Atma is already immortal anyway.
yeah, that's why he's not getting that. By doing this practice, with sadhana, right? We do all these things. By doing sadhana, I will merge with Swami one day. The concept of that is not talking about that one. He's just trying to explain, if you consider yourself as Atma, there is no question of death and born. I mean, it's out of that cycle. I think he was just symbolically explaining. That's what I was to do.
Yes, brother. Yes, Sai. So Swami is explaining that, to attain this kind of expansion of joy, bliss, we have to break the limited self identifying, which is like a prison, Swami calls it, which limits us. Karagaram, so.
Prison puts ourselves in that.
Yes.
We restrict our thought process, I guess.
Brother, can you go with the second line also, please?
Which
One
line?
is ego self-identifies GV and Atma, death will cease.
That we have
But
covered.
when the ego self-identifies itself and merge with the bliss.
Okay, so we'll come to that. Sister Kalyani has a...
Okay.
Yes, Kalyani.
Yes, Uncle, it's about the same lines. I was wondering why Swami saying when you merge in sukha, rather than why Swami used that particular word rather than say like ananda or something.
Sure, thank you.
Yes, say.
Second sentence. So
Yeah, second
so it
sentence.
says, Sukhamunu aikyama munandapure dukkamu nilchipo. So Swami says sorrow will cease when we merge in sukha. So Kalyani's question is why Swami is talking about sukha and not about bliss.
Yeah.
Because in the translation we have it says bliss of the one, but Swami has used the word only sukha.
Sukhamunu Aikyamunandinapude. దుఃఖము నిలిచిపోవును. జ్ఞానముతో ఐక్యమొందినప్పుడు పొరపాట్లు నిలిచిపోవును. So there are three things which Swami is saying. One is ahambhav, ahambhav జీవనితో కలిసినప్పుడు సుఖము దుఃఖమును సుఖము ఐక్యమైనప్పుడు దుఃఖము, జ్ఞానము ఐక్యమైనప్పుడు పొరపాట్లు. So three things he is saying.
So Kalyani, Swami is telling the sukha has to say sukhamunu.
The previous sentence was
No, sukhamunu.
సుఖమును ఐక్యమునందినప్పుడే. So we have to take that object as jiva. Jiva is the object of the sentence. Is it?
You are taking.
Yes, Brother Prasad.
No, I think by this time we already agreed ourselves in the storyline that I means jiva here. I'm not considering myself as a body. I think we got that conclusion up to here. And the next lines are assuming we are agreeing to the point. Yes, I am Atma. I think he's trying to explain, I guess.
No, because in the first sentence, Swami says Jivinito Aikyamunondinapadu. With the jiva when it merges is the first sentence. The second sentence, Swami says Sukhamunu Aikyamunapadu.
So that's what Jivanito Aikyamunandapadu. Should we take like that, no?
I think so.
Yeah. Sukhamu జీవునితో ఐక్యమైనప్పుడు దుఃఖము నిలిచిపోను. జ్ఞానము జీవునితో ఐక్యమైనప్పుడు పొరపాట్లు నిలిచిపోను.
Thank you very much, Auntie.
That is the correct.
Exactly. So Kalyani, but Swami is saying the sukha should merge in jiva. Okay. So the limited sukha, which we get, when that is merged in the jiva, then dukkha will cease. When dukkha ceases, that will become bliss. The end result is bliss, is the way I understand.
Yeah.
So because we identify sukha with small things, happiness. But that sukha should merge in the jiva. So for example, if you have a joy, that's why as part of sadhana, everything which we enjoy, we offer to God. Because we think we offer prasadam because prasadam we like. So we offer to the Lord. So through this process, one day they will not have sorrow at all. Because once we merge that sukha with jiva, sorrow will not exist. When sorrow is not existing, then sukha transforms itself into bliss. So with the limited sukha will become unlimited bliss, is my understanding, because dukkha doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Uncle, thank you. So then translation should actually be something like when sukha merges in jiva, sorrow.
Yes. Sorrow ceases.
And when jnana merges in jiva, all mistakes will cease.
Yes. Ajnana. Instead that ajnana will go away.
Porapadu means ajnana will cease.
Ajnana potundi. Jnana merges with jiva, ajnana will go away.
Okay, Suji has raised her hand.
Sairam, I have a question. So for that, when you say merges, are you saying that mentally you have to say that everything happens for my benefit? I should not get sad. I should just, give everything to God. What do you mean by merges? Like, how do we practically practice that?
Very good question, sister. Sister has asked a very good question. I don't know whether Sakwanti has an answer for that. Oh, she has a question. Sakwanti. You have to unmute and speak.
I was just asking that merging, you said the sukha becomes bliss. That is what the sentence says. When you have the world consciousness becomes part of the awareness, then the ananda will be full.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's what Swami is explaining. But Sister Suji has asked a very practical question. How do we merge? So I will open that up for discussion. Because one thing is to say, okay, this is going to merge. How do we happen? Is the mind telling, you are one, the other person is one, things like that? I think that's the question. How do we get to that state?
I feel sukha is only a physical happiness. Opposite of physical happiness is dukkha, sorrow. So when you get that sukha merges with the jiva, with Atman, this dukkha will go away. In the small pleasures of this world will when it merges with the Atman, then bliss will happen. That's what I understand. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Aunty Sai Ram. Yes, Sai Satish.
Sai Ramana. So I'm just latching on to what you had mentioned earlier about the Naivedyam part as well. So Swami would say Sarva Karma Bhagavat Prityartham in terms of every action, or even if it comes to the thought or the word, it is done for making the Lord happy. So in that sense, in practically, even as we do, maybe we start off mechanically, anything that we do or we think or we say, like Swami, we are offering it to you. But even as that starts off mechanically, it could come to a stage where it gets a little more, we become conscious of what we are doing, that really we are doing it for the Lord with the feeling of offering. And even as we build on that from mechanical to understanding it a bit more, it will evolve to a stage that like from love, with love, for love kind of a stage. And I think that is where ultimately whatever is done, the sukha also merges with the jivi, with the Atman, and everything is done with that feeling that it is from the Lord, for the Lord, with the Lord. And then that state of duality ceases. It from a practical standpoint, initially, I think that's where I think Swami says in one of the discourses in the Bharatiya culture, even if it's a truck driver, they before they start the truck, they do their pranams to the steering wheel. Even if a cobbler is mending, before they start to do their work, they bow to the tools. And even Vijayadashmi and any of this Navaratri time when we do Ayudha Puja, everything is done with that feeling of the Lord is the one who is making it happen, and we are doing it with the thing that the Lord has given. So everything, and again offering the same thing, Yajño Yajñena Kalpatam, we offer it back to the Lord. So that feeling, if we inculcate at every point, whether it's our thought, word, and deed, ultimately it leads one to move from that state, because everything is done for the Lord. Then it leads to a point of literally everything becoming the Naivedyam to the Lord, and then everything becomes prasadam once we offer it and then partake it. So it just builds along the thing of the duality slowly getting erased to become the individuality of just the Atman or the Jivi or the capital I side on.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. The time is 4:29, but I'll just make one statement, and I think everyone can contemplate and come back. How do we get to this point? Various practices, I think all sadhana helps to attain this only. But I think ultimately, first thing we should say, we should slowly identify whenever the body thinks, when our mind thinks, I got it, and we refer it to our body, our individual self, or anything which belongs to us. Especially when we feel sad or upset. If you ask the question, am I being sad because I'm selfish? I think once we ask this question, slowly, at least we will identify what exactly causes the problem. Because generally it is I didn't get it, or people who are related to me didn't get it, or my children didn't get, my parents didn't get. You know, those are the problems. And I think we should, Swami says we have to kill it. We have to destroy it. I think that's the first step we have to start working on. And then maybe we can fill it with something which is more positive. With those words, let's stop here. I think we'll continue to contemplate and come back to discuss this next week. Sai Ram, everyone. We'll close with prayers. Sai. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavant. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavant. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Thank you.
Sai Ram.